ranking all 18 AFL logos because there's a couple of rebrands that have just come out. The St Kilda one just got dropped. Let's get into it. So something a little bit different. I want to rank all of the 18 AFL logos because this year we had Adelaide drop a new logo, Gold Coast drop a new logo, and St Kilda just dropped a new logo. And I'll give you my thoughts on all of them, but I am a sucker for, not that I'm any good at it, but I'm a sucker for graphic design. I'm a sucker for logos. I'm a sucker for, modernizing some things, but sort of keeping the retro, all that sort of little stuff. The EPL do it really well with their logos. The NFL have really cool logos. The NBA have really cool logos. I think in general, our logos could be improved a lot. This is not going to be just me. I haven't got a graphic design bone in my body, but I'll give you my thoughts on all of the club logos, especially the three new ones that just came out, because I have a lot to say about them. But without further ado, welcome to Swoop. Luke, if you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Let's get into it. All right, so there's no better place to start than the Adelaide logo. So that just came out a couple of weeks ago now. You can't really see it. Oh, there we go. You can't really see it when on that black background, but I actually really like this new Adelaide logo. I know a lot of people don't like it, but I think it's really cool. It modernizes the old Adelaide logo. It's a whole rebrand. I hated that old Adelaide logo. I didn't like how we'll just put that back for a second. I didn't like the beak or anything like that. I just hated that Adelaide logo. This one though. Like I said, I like it when it's a little bit more modern, brings it into the times, and I think it looks really good when it's small as well. Um, it's got just Adelaide there. It's a crow because I've got the crow. It's got their tricolours in there. I think this is a great logo. I really, really dig this logo. And that first one, it's going to be great. And I think they did a really good job rebranding. I know there was lots of focus groups that went into this, a lot of members' input, and I think they did an excellent job. Next one is the Brisbane Lions logo. Now, this logo, I don't like at all. I don't think it's shocking. I think it's meh. I think I'm a bit indifferent to it. I don't like the lion. I think it's a bit of a paddle pop lion, if you will. I don't like how the writing, I know it only says Lions there, but it's got the Brisbane on top of it. I don't like how the Brisbane is so small. So when you shrink the logo, you can't really see the Brisbane. Maybe just have the Lions on there. And I don't like that it's on the top. I would prefer it down the bottom, if that. I don't even think maybe you need your team name or your city name on there. If you're just going to sort of like stuff it, it's not going to be curved or bring anything to the table. You could just have the lion logo. I don't think it's bad or shocking. I just think it's middling. I don't think it's good at all. It's just there. It's okay. Like the lion looks good. They obviously have three colors, so it's the gold, the maroon, and the blue. You can't see the blue because that was just in that Lions, the Brisbane text, which is on top of that, which it looks like it's cut down. Yeah, I don't really, I'm indifferent to this logo. Like, all right, good on them, but it's okay. It's okay. I prefer their old stuff. Next one is the Collingwood logo that's been chopped off. Now, the Collingwood logo, it does have the Collingwood name down the bottom. We changed this. I think it was 2018 when we changed this. I really like this logo. Even if I wasn't a Collingwood supporter, I think it's really clean. It's modernized. I think we took off we modernized the magpie a little bit. The Australian flag came off. There was like a Collingwood flag that came off. I liked the reefs. And I do like that Collingwood text. Again, you probably don't need that. I get why they've got it there, and I get why all these teams sort of have it there. I like that it is curved with the crest. It's not just a plain word like we'll see a little bit later on. I think this is a great logo, and it could be my bias, but I think it is actually a great logo. Moving on to Essendon. So Essendon have had this logo since '97, so it's almost been 30 years since they've had this logo. Look, I think it's a good logo. I don't think it's not. It's better than the Brisbane logo. That's for sure. And maybe I'll change my mind once we go through it all. But I think it's a good logo. I don't think it's great. But I think it's good. Good slash okay. I do I do like their sort of bomber plane. I like how the Essendon, the text there is its own sort of topography. I'm really a fan of that. The Lions one just looks like something that you find on bloody Word Art. But I do like that. I don't think it's a great logo by any stretch of the imagination, but I think it's good. There probably isn't much else you could do with the Essendon logo unless they go for like a more circular crest looking one. But I think this works really well. You could potentially, and you could probably do this for all of them, except for, oh, I forgot Carlton, except for Carlton's one. But take the text off. But it's a brand thing, so I understand why it's there. Okay, Carlton's one. I didn't see it because it's the obviously the blue. So Carlton's one, there's not much you can really do about it because they are the Blues. There's not really like a lion. There's not a bomber. There's not a crow. There's not a hawk. There's not a demon. So they're just the Carlton Blues. I think this is a good logo. I hate that you can't see that. I think it's a good logo. Again, it's the monogram. I think it's probably their best logo that they've had. I know before this one there was like a big crest with all these little things on there, but I like how it's sort of modernized. It's just a monogram. They've got it on the front of their jumper. Actually, no, I think it's just good. I don't know what could elevate it to be great, but we were saying how some teams have the names on it, some teams don't. I like how Carlton are so assured that their branding of that logo, that it's Carlton, that it's the Blues, that they don't need any other word. You know what? I'm going to change it to great. I think it is a great logo, despite their song being the worst song in the AFL. I think that is a great logo, just because I love that they're so self assured that, yeah, like I just said, you don't need Carlton on there. You don't need Blues on there. It's like, bang, this is our logo. We wear it right on our chest. Yeah, I absolutely love that one. Fremantle, rebrand your whole club. One, I don't like how they've gone to purple and silver. I don't like the Fremantle Dockers wording just being right at the bottom. Maybe take off that wording and put the Dockers on top of the silver instead of saying, Estate 1994 or 97, wherever they bloody came into the competition. Take that off. You don't need that because it's just making the logo smaller. But also, bring back the actual Docker. Like, your jumpers are shit. The colors are shit now. It's like, okay, I understand trying to be modern and trying to appeal to a new generation, whatever it sort of may be. But the retro stuff, and I know we can't stay in the past, I understand that. We need to move on from the past, but you could modernize the retro stuff like they have been doing with bringing that anchor back. But the green, the red, the purple, the white, you can rebrand your whole club again and keep your identity that you came into the AFL with. I think this is just an absolute cop out. I think it's one of the worst logos in the AFL at the moment. Geelong, I think it's a good logo. It's probably again one of their best logos that they've had. Do you need the Geelong up there and do you need the cats down the bottom? I think choose your battle. Pick one. I like that there's the cat on the crest. I would take off the cat down the bottom where it says cats, and just keep the Geelong up the top. And that way, when you shrink it, when you can grow it, it just looks a little bit cleaner, in my opinion. Anyway, kind of like the Brisbane one, where if it was just the lion's head and maybe the lion down the bottom, it does need one name, some of these logos. But take the cats off, just have that crest, and that would have been a great logo. Suns, rebrand ASAP. I know they just rebranded, but this is, along with the Dockers, the worst logo I have ever seen in my whole entire life. And I'll say that with every fiber and muscle in my body. That logo is shocking. I understand what it is. Oh, it's a G. Oh, it's an S. Oh, it's got a sunset. Cool, cool, cool. Don't put this red logo on a red jumper. I like it when it's the red jumper with the gold logo. In saying that, I was a big supporter of Gold Coast rebranding their entire brand for so long because their previous logo was shocking as well. But I think this is just really bad. It looks like a 90s TV channel that just plays really bad music videos and really bad commercials from like a local news station from like Massachusetts or something like that. I just can't get behind it. I just can't get behind it. And we talk about having an identity with the logo and then with the text. I like that they've gone with their own typography on the Suns, but I just can't get around that text on the bottom either. And just I get it. Oh, it's a football. It's all this stuff, and I understand where they're coming from with this, but I just don't think it works. I don't know what I don't know what else they could have done, and I'm sure there's a million graphic designers on Reddit and on Big Footy and on Instagram that have done their own version of this, and maybe we'll do another if this video goes well and you like it. Maybe we'll do another video ranking user submitted logos, which would be really cool. But this Suns one, I know they just rebranded, but back to the drawing board, rebrand ASAP again. The Giants, Greater Western Sydney. I don't think they need a rebrand, but I think it's meh. Like I'm indifferent towards it. That big G just always reminds me of Gatorade. Um, you know, I know that they're the orange team. I get that, but they've still got that charcoal as well. So they do well with the charcoal and the orange. Maybe incorporate the charcoal somehow. I don't know how you really would. I don't think it's a rebrand. I don't think it's the worst logo in the AFL. I'm just a little bit indifferent to it. That G is going to be synonymous with GWS. I don't think they're ever going to change how that G looks. But maybe, do you even need the Giants wording there? Just have the G. Like we know that you're the Giants. Maybe just have the G, and at the top of the G, maybe just put, I don't know, maybe write like GWS in there or something. I just don't like how that Giants wording is bigger than the logo itself or wider than the logo itself. Just get rid of it. Just make it a big G. You're a giant, right? Make it a giant G, and we understand it. We will. I promise you, we will understand it. Greater Western Sydney. Hawthorn. So they've had this one since 2008. I think this is a good logo. I know we talked about the writing and all that sort of stuff. I like how the writing is behind the crest. Different to the Brisbane one. It kind of looks similar, but it's different to the Brisbane one because they don't have Hawthorn up the top, and it's just the Hawks. So I'm down with that. No, you know what? I think it's just meh. I changed my mind because it's neither here nor there for me. I do like the hawk on it though. I think that's a really cool picture of a hawk. Better than what Adelaide had. I think it's better than the Eagles one that we'll talk a little bit about later. I like that it's a shield, but I'm just a little bit indifferent to it. Melbourne. I think this is a shocking logo. I don't think they need a rebrand. Um, but I think it's a shocking logo. I like their older one, their 2000, early 2000s logo with the actual demon. Like, don't call yourself the Melbourne Demons and then not give me a demon on there. I want to see some horns. I want to see some flames. I want to see a pitchfork. I just don't think that encapsulates Melbourne Demons at all. But I can see why they're sort of gone with it. I don't think it needs a rebrand as such. It'd be cool if they changed the logo to something more demony, more. So everyone else has sort of got like, besides, oh, the sun's got a sun there, I guess. So like you got a hawthorn, you got a giant G, you got a lion, blah 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 blah, and then Melbourne's just like we're a crest. We don't even. That's not even synonymous with Melbourne, the city. If you put something that's city in the city there, yeah, I just think it's a shocking logo. Uh, North Melbourne, I think this is a really cool logo. Probably their best logo, definitely better than the one that was previous to this one, which looked like something from play school or kindergarten. I think the kangaroo looks absolutely mean. I like that. It's probably one of the only ones that they've incorporated the name into their crest fully. Like I know we've got the Lions up there and Melbourne there, but this is like fully North Melbourne. They don't have to know, you don't have to know they're a kangaroo because you've got a kangaroo there. You know what? Actually, I'm gonna change this to. Oh, I've got the Carlton one there. I want to change this one to great because I actually really. It's probably one of my favorite logos in the AFL. I don't know if that's controversial or not, but that's probably one of my favorite logos in the AFL. It looks really cool when it's on the jumper. I think it can be really small and really large, and it'll still give you the same effect. Port Adelaide, straight up shocking. I love their old logo with the fist and the lightning coming through it. This is another example of teams trying to be too modern, trying to do too many things. I don't think it needs a rebrand, like Fremantle does. But in saying that, have a look at those two different logos. Fremantle could do pretty much the exact same thing because they've got the same crest. I just noticed that they've got the exact same crest. Port Adelaide don't need the Port Adelaide Power name down there, so neither do Fremantle. Just take that name off. I just don't like it. I don't know if it's because I'm stuck on the other one with the Lightning, but I don't like when teams don't show who they are. Imagine a Collingwood logo without a magpie on it. It was just black and white with CFC. Like, at least Carlton, their logo was navy blue. You know what I mean? So you still get something out of it. I don't like that logo for that. One of the main reasons for that. Next one is Richmond, and I'm sorry these are all cut off. It's just how this tier thing works. I think it's a no. You know what? I think it actually is a pretty good logo. I think the tiger is really cool. Like I just said, I like when teams have their animal or their their character in their logo, and I think this is a really cool tiger. I remember when they rebranded, and there was a whole thing of the tiger wearing the Collingwood scarf, but I think this is another really cool logo. It's not a great logo, but I think it's a really cool logo. Now we get to the last newest rebrand logo is the St Kilda one. I absolutely froth this logo. If I was a St Kilda supporter, I'd be so happy with that. We talk about modernizing logos, but also keeping the retro feel. This is the perfect example of it. I like that they've gone with St Kilda, not St KFC. They've gotten rid of their Latin what fortuitous quae fidius. Is that what it says? I really don't know. They've gotten rid of that. They've put the banner onto the logo. They've gone with the cross is bigger. It's more of a centerpiece. It looks really good on the jumpers. The only thing that I don't like about this logo, and I think it's a great logo, is when it's on the jumpers, on the black background, and it'll pop up here. It's a little bit on the white as well. Just for my OCD, it's just doing things. Just leave it fully on the black. Or you probably couldn't do it if you could just put it on the white here. You probably couldn't do that. But I love this logo. It's keeping it modern. It's keeping it retro. It's a nice blend, and that's why it's a great logo. Sydney Swans, I think this is a good logo. I liked their whole rebrand. I probably the only thing I would change here to make it great is I would take the name off the top, and just keep it as that V with the big ass swan. I do like the old one with the it's got like the opera house and stuff like that. But I think this is a way better logo than it. I don't think it's I don't know why I'm stopping myself from putting it into great. But I don't think it's a great logo. I think it's a good logo. And that was another team that did a good mix of modern and their sort of retro South Melbourne vibes. I was gonna say maybe it would be cool if they, instead of that the text at the top, they just wrote Bloods, but I don't think I don't think that would go really well with the public. This West Coast Eagles logo, I think it's shocking. I think it's shocking because, again, the eagle is smaller than the West Coast Eagles. The writing, I like that they've got its own typography as well. I think that's the word of the day, typography. But I wouldn't even have that eagle just by itself. Like I know I said, Giants just have the G by itself. Lions just have the lion head by itself. I don't even think you could do that eagle just by itself. I think this needs like some sort of crest. Like we don't often see. I think the only one that's sort of without a crest, like Adelaide, the Giants, and the Suns, obviously, and this eagle as well, without a crest. But this eagle one just looks very weird to me, and I don't like it. I don't know. I can't really pinpoint what it is I don't like about it, but I just don't like it. And if you were to get rid of the writing, I wouldn't even have the eagle by itself. There would have to be a whole major change. You could probably do something like the Hawks have done, crest, eagle in the crest, and then eagles at the top. I don't even think you need to do West Coast. It would just be eagles. If you're going to keep the wording, just have it as eagles. Now, the last one here is the Western Bulldogs. I think I do think this is a good logo. I do think this is a good logo. One thing I would change again is the writing. I'd get rid of the writing. Just keep the dog. The only thing I think it is a good, yeah, I think it is a good logo. I'm trying to just convince myself. I think it is a really good logo. Not great. I'd get rid of the writing. With the dog though, the thing that annoys me is that I can only see its two paws, and I know it's got to be too small to get all four out. I would like to see a more ferocious looking dog, like their sort of like their older logos. Not exactly like the older logo, but see how that it's sort of just more front facing, kind of like the lion, kind of like the kangaroo, like the cat. Give me a more front facing bulldog, like, like snarling sort of stuff. And that would flip me and put that in the great category. And just as a bonus, we're going to put the 19th team in here, the Tasmania Devils. Like that, I love that, right? The Devils on the top, the Tasmanian Devil, but it has got the Tasmania up the top of that Devil wording, which from previous things I don't like. I do think it's a good logo though. I love the colors. I love the mascot itself. I think it looks really cool. Could it have been different? Maybe. I was a big naysayer of calling the team the Tasmanian Devils because you got the Devils and the Demons. I know they're different beings. Still doesn't sit right with me, but I think it's a really good logo. I don't think it's great. I would change it to great if they just had Devils and the Tasmanian Devil, because that it's a Tasmanian Devil, right? That would have pushed it up to great. I think it kind of, yeah. See how this one is kind of similar to West Coast's one, but it just looks better. For some reason, it just looks better, and I think it is the wording as well. That kind of the Tasmanian Devils wording just seems like, I don't know. It just suits me or fills me up more with joy than the West Coast Eagles one does. And that's not a 2018 bias. That's just I just don't like the West Coast Eagles logo. This is how I rank all 18, 19 teams of the AFL. Let me know your thoughts down below. Do you agree? Do you disagree? I'll also put the link in because I have made this public, so I'll put the link in down below so you can do your own tier list. I'd love to know your thoughts. And let me know if you want me to do a user-submitted logos that have been seen on Reddit and Instagram and stuff like this. Let me know your thoughts down below. But until then, like, comment, subscribe, tell your family, tell your friends, tell your pets. And until next time, double shackers. I'll swoop you later.